What is good, guys? For this video, I'm going to be telling you the story about the time I had appendicitis. Freaky, crazy, scary, painful. Let's just get into it. I'm going to be telling you every little detail because I remember everything and I want you to experience the whole entire story as if you were with me. Let's go. It was a dark and stormy October 28th. Oh my god, it's raining right now. What a coincidence. It wasn't dark. I mean, it was dark, but it wasn't stormy. It was morning, it was 7, and I had woken up early so I could study for my math test because I didn't get a chance to really study for it the night before. As I'm studying, I get this light pain in the center of my stomach, and I just ignore it. So I just continue studying, and time flies, and I realize I have to go catch the bus, and the pain is still there. I think like maybe I'm just hungry. I grab a whole bunch of snacks, stuffed in my bag, and drive to my first campus so I could take the 1-hour bus ride to get to my second campus. So as I'm on that bus ride, the pain is still there and I'm like, let me start eating. So I eat whatever junk food I put in my bag, Cheez-Its or pretzels or whatever, and I pop some Advil. I'm like, okay, the pain should subside. Now, I finally get to school, I get in my first class, and the pain is still there. However, it comes in intervals. It's there for 10 seconds and disappears for 5-7 minutes, comes back for 10 seconds, disappears in 5-7 minutes. It comes in sort of like a pattern. Then I have to rush to get to my second class, which was my math test. And running, basically the class is a good freaking mile apart from each other and I only have 10 minutes to get there. But anyways, I run to get to class because I don't want to be late. I want every minute for the test, and running in pain probably wasn't the best idea. So I run, I get to class, and I'm out of breath, and the pain is just like a freaking heartbeat, like and I get to the class and I started taking the math test and I'm just like, oh my god, the pain is getting stronger now. And when I was at my first class and when I was in the bus, the pain was at maybe like a 4. When I get to my math class taking the test, it's now at like a 6. And by the time I finished the math test, the pain had just grown and grown and grown, and I was like, oh my god. After that class, I had like a 45-minute break, so I'm like, maybe I'm still hungry. So smart old me goes and buys freaking Papa John's, and I'm eating the Papa John's and I'm watching Gilmore Girls before my next class, and the pain is just growing stronger and stronger. I'm feeding the freaking pain. And this pain, like with appendicitis, when you see TV shows and everything, they make it seem, as I guess for some people it is, I don't know, as if the pain is in the right part of your abdomen where the appendix actually lies, but this pain was literally in the center of my stomach, so I had no idea. I'm just there eating my pizza, and now the pain's at like a good 7 or 8. The intervals are coming like freaking like contractions. It's there for a strong 30 seconds, disappears for 2 minutes, there for 30 seconds, disappears for 2 minutes. It's like going faster and it's there longer now. And I finally get to my last class. I'm just like sitting in an awkward position trying to find whatever way makes me feel comfortable, but nothing's working. The pain is just there, and all I can think about during this hour-and-a-half class is, oh my god, I want to go home, drink tea, and lie down on the couch. After that class ends, I literally run again to catch the bus. Running in pain made it so much worse. In that hour bus, I'm just sitting there like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. The pain had reached 8-9 at this point. Finally, after the hour bus ride, I get to my car, have to drive 15 minutes home. I'm just driving like literally crunched over, and I'm thinking, imagine a policeman like pulled me over right now. I would just be like, hi officer. So I finally get home. The first thing I do, I pop that freaking kettle on and I sit on the couch and like I'm just like in a freaking fetal position. You know, my mom comes and she's like, oh my god, are you okay? And I'm like, Mom, I don't feel well. The pain is just growing and growing and growing, and I'm sitting there on the couch like in so much pain. My mom's there and she's like, don't worry honey, it's probably just that time of month. I start crying and I'm telling her, no mom, it's not the same kind of pain. I know that pain, it's not the same kind of pain. And she's like, no, it is, don't worry, I know. Do you? My parents that day actually had a wedding to get to at night, so my mom was just getting dressed, checking in on me every 5 minutes, putting on her blush. How you doing, sweetheart? Not good, Mom. It finally reaches around nighttime. My dad comes home, starts getting ready for the wedding. Thank God he has like 100 doctor friends. Calls one of them up and he's basically explaining like my symptoms. Doctor's like, oh, it's just her time a month. The second he hangs up the phone with the doctor, I start vomiting like a freaking volcano, just letting it erupt. The vomiting happens in intervals as well. I would lie down for 2 minutes, get up, throw up. Lie down for 2 minutes, get up, throw up. It was like a freaking systematic thing that was going on in my body where every 2 minutes I would get up and throw up. Pain was at a literal 1001 out of 10. It was just like 100 knives being stabbed in the center of my stomach. It was so bad. Dad's like, oh, we're not gonna go to the wedding. We're gonna stay here with you. Let's take you to the emergency room. I'm like, no, Dad, no. Because first of all, I hate emergency rooms. Second of all, going to an emergency room at night makes it so like 10 times scarier than going during the daytime. At this point, I started feeling better. I stopped throwing up, and my dad's like, okay, we're gonna go, but not for too long. So they go to the wedding. The second they leave, start vomiting all up over again. 15 minutes later, my parents are on the way to the wedding, and they call me. I wasn't home alone. I was with my brother, and they asked my brother, how's she doing? And my brother is like, oh, she's fine, have fun, she's okay, she's totally good. And I'm like, no, tell them the truth, tell them the truth. But I literally couldn't even speak. They come back like 2 hours later. They come home and they see me, and they're like, okay, like now let's take you to the emergency room. Kept throwing up still. My mom was like, maybe she needs to sleep it out. She'll wake up tomorrow morning feeling better. And I'm like, yeah, let me just sleep it off. I sleep it off. I like looked up what time the doctor's office, my doctor's office opens. It opened at 8 o'clock, and I'm just there like, okay, Laura, you got this. 8 hours until you're gonna be pain-free. Thankfully, you can do this. Got like probably like 30 minutes sleep, but like sporadically, not all together, coherently. It was like 7 o'clock. I'm like, oh my God, 1 hour. And I was wired awake, ready to go. I'm like, I'm gonna be the first one there. The pain had sort of like gone down just a bit. And as we're going to the doctor's office, driving to the doctor's office, my dad's like, maybe we should take her to the emergency room. They'll do more tests, and we'll just get the whole lab done then and there. And I get there, and the doctor, she starts to say like, where's the pain? I tell her I'm in the center of my stomach. Starts to touch, parts of my stomach. She touches the right side. She's like, do you feel pain there? And I'm like, I don't know, not really, maybe, no. And she's like, okay, that's a good sign, because that's where your appendix is, and if you felt pain, that probably would have meant you had appendicitis. That's when I'm like, oh my God, no, doctor, I do feel pain. My parents are just sitting there like, come on, you're being paranoid now. Yeah, right, you don't feel pain there. And the doctor's like, okay, we're gonna do a CAT scan anyway to check everything. And they start taking blood from me, and let me tell you, I have no veins. What do you mean you don't have veins? I got no veins. The doctor literally had to poke and stab me 1,000 times. Like, they weren't finding a vein. I was dehydrated. There was nothing, to come out. And by the time they did find a vein, apparently the blood's supposed to go just like through the tube nice and smoothly. Mine was going like. And she's like, okay, that's not a good sample. After she took those tubes of blood, she's like, okay, let's try the other arm. Stabbed me again, trying to find that central vein that they could pop in. Finally, I do the CAT scan. It takes about an hour for them to get the results and read it or whatever. So we're just sitting there. My dad's like, okay, I think you guys are good to go. Basically, he's like, I'm gonna go to work. Just text me or call me when you guys get her antibiotics, because they thought it was just like a stomach virus or something at this point. Later, the doctor finally walks in, and she takes a seat. And keep in mind, at this point, me and my mom are thinking okay, I gotta speed this process up. I want to go home, rest, take my antibiotics, get this pain out of my system. And she sits on the chair, and she's like, so Laura has appendicitis. And me and my mom look at each other, and we start laughing. Oh my God, doctor, you're so funny. We literally start laughing when she tells me I have appendicitis, because we didn't believe it. We didn't believe it. And I'm thinking, okay, when is she gonna say I'm totally kidding? She's like, and we're gonna have to rush you straight into surgery. And I look at my mom, I'm like, what? And she's like, but we don't have a surgeon here, so we're gonna take you in an ambulance to the other hospital nearby. And I'm like, oh my God, this is actually happening. Mom calls my dad. She's like, okay, honey, drive back. Still on his way to work. She's gonna have surgery. She has appendicitis. And my dad, he starts yelling at my mom. He's like, okay, that's not something you can joke about. He's mad at her. He's like, why are you joking like that? Stop. And I was like, okay, either you're gonna be here when she has the surgery or you're not. He drives back. We eventually convinced him not to let me go in the ambulance, because the other hospital is literally 5 minutes away. It takes only an hour until finally they prep me for surgery. I'm ready to go. They're taking more blood from me, because the samples from the other hospital, the first hospital, it doesn't count. My whole 3 days that I ended up staying at the hospital, they had poked and probed me 13 times. This is for blood and get the IV in. I ended up having bruises, green and blue bruises all up down my arms. As they're rolling me out, my dad's like, wait, let's get a second opinion, because he's all about the second opinions. He's like, are you sure she has appendicitis? Are you sure? Yeah, definitely she has appendicitis. The surgery happens. It was like a 45-minute surgery. I wake up and I'm like in so much pain. And basically what they did for the surgery was they did 3 small incisions. This is my stomach, this is my belly button. The appendix is here, right? This is the right side if you're watching correctly. I don't know if this is gonna switch the camera or whatever, but here's my belly button, here's the appendix. They did the first incision down here, another one right here, and one directly above the belly button. And then they basically filled up my stomach with gas so they could get a better look inside, and then eventually made their way to the appendix and pulled it out. That's the whole like procedure, how it went down. I wake up in pain, they give me meds. I had to end up staying there for 3 days when it was only supposed to be like an overnight thing, because you gotta release gas to make sure that everything is still working. So I had to wait. Basically, I couldn't get released until I farted. During the whole thing, like I couldn't even stand up on my own. Using the bathroom, I had someone to like help me walk there. Walking was so painful. The doctor was like, it's good for you to walk around the hospital floors. So my dad would hold me. I would just be like walking so slowly because it was so painful. The night before I was released, in the middle of the night, it was like 2 o'clock. My mom had stayed over like the entire time and slept with me at the hospital. In the middle of the night, I released gas and I was like, Mom, I farted. And she's like, oh my God. We're like, yeah, I get to go home now. But anyways, yeah, so I go home, I leave with bruises all up on me, leave with marks on my stomach from the surgery. And this was October. We're in what, May now? No, June. 8 months ago, and I still have the scars from the incisions, and I don't think they're gonna go away. The doctor said they should. He told me basically to buy anything with vitamin E, like as a lotion, so this is the one that I got. So this is what I've been applying every other day, and the marks have sort of like gone down, I guess you could say, but they're still there. And a couple weeks later, I had my checkup from my surgery, and what they do is they don't just throw away the appendix, they basically test it. And he's like, good news, the appendix was cancer-free. Bad news is that literally it was about to burst. It was so inflamed. It was so inflamed. It was really puffy and it was ready to burst any second. So it was a good thing that I got it out. That's my story about the time I had appendicitis. Give this video a big thumbs up and comment down below if you had appendicitis or you know somebody who had it or have any other questions for me about it. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye.